Welcome back to another Handyman Land video. Today's video is going to be about circuit breaker finder and this voltage detector. It's not going to be about how to replace the outlet and the switch. If you want to see videos of that, I'll leave a link in the description at the bottom, but today's video is going to be how this tool is used. So this is my tool. And this one is made by Craftsman. They have multiple different brands out there, but basically what this is a circuit breaker finder. One is a receiver and the other is a transmitter. They separate. Now here's my transmitter. My transmitter also has a GFCI tester on it. And here's my GFCI outlet. And the way you know if the outlet is doing its job, this button here triggers a faulty failure. As you see, this GFI is still working, but the homeowner wants to replace it with a newer one. And they also want to replace the switch. They don't know how long it's been there. It's been there for quite some time. We just need to replace it. So let's just turn on our switch again. Let's plug in our transmitter. Transmitter's plugged in. Now we take our receiver and we go to wherever the circuit breaker box is located. In this house is located in the basement. So here's my receiver. I turned it on and we're just scanning. So it's telling me it's this tandem breaker on the top. It's not beeping. Let's turn it back on. So it's telling me it's that one. And you just turn off your unit right here. That's it. So my lights are off, so that's telling me there is no longer power at this GFI switch. But that does not mean that there's no power at this garbage disposal. So the garbage disposal is not turning on. So that means this outlet and this switch are on the same breaker. Before getting any further into this, I just want you to note one thing. Anytime that you're dealing with electric, there's always a chance of getting injured. If you're not the one that wired this up, do not trust that the hot is a hot, the neutral is a neutral. You don't know. That's why you have to test and ensure that you don't get injured. If you're not comfortable in any way whatsoever, just hire an electrician to do this. Okay, let me remove these screws, just letting you know. When I look inside there, whew, it looks like a hot mess. Let's see. Okay, so I'm already seeing something funny. They're using this hot wire as their ground, which is okay, but look how it's connected to the other ground. It's just twisted, no wire nuts. That could have came off at any time. Even when they had pushed this into the box, that could have just came out. That's not the right way to do it. They could have used a wiggle nut or just another wire nut if the wire was too short. My switch is loose now. Now I'm going to take my voltage detector and stick it in there to see if it beeps. If there's a live wire, it will start beeping. And just to show you how it beeps on a live wire, that's what it does. So just so you see, the switch is out, and I just noticed there's no ground. It's not connected to a ground. It should be. So I'm going to remove this wiggle nut that I put in. Do a little something different so our new switch, which has a ground, can be grounded. Especially when you're in a metal box like this. This is a metal box. Your metal box should also be tied into your ground. Okay, got my meter, got my alligator clip in. Just testing for continuity. I just want to make sure that this box is grounded. So the box is good. We're grounded. Just making sure I don't put the switch upside down. On. Off. Now, I know I said this video was only going to be about the circuit breaker finder and the voltage detector, but since I'm already at it, I'm just going to show you real quick. You always want to make sure that your line, your source goes to your line. If you look carefully, you will see the word line and load. So your line is your source. The source is the power that's coming from the panel box. And it always brings instructions, so just follow the instructions. It's can't get any simpler than that. You have your service, line, load feeds your next outlet, line in, load, line, and it continues going just like that. Another thing I want to point out, anytime you're running new wiring, you should have at least 6 inches sticking out of the box. This is why they were short. Whoever installed this the first time, they were short on the ground, and they just twisted a ground on there. No electrical tape, no wire nut. I don't understand why they do that, but someone did. They thought it was okay to do it like that. Just make sure you're hot and neutral, that you wire it right. Hot should be the black, the white should be your white as neutral. Now I have my new switch and my new GFCI in, so let's put the cover on and then we'll turn on the breaker and test this. Now when you're putting your screws in, you don't want to over tighten, or you will find yourself back at the hardware store looking for another one. So let's now hit the reset button. There you go. And let's plug in our toy here. Let me turn off the light so you can see. There you go. So if you look on here, it would tell you if it's wired correct. Let me see if I can focus on there. There you go. So you want where it says correct wiring. And that's the lights that you should get. And if you get any of these, just go over and it'll tell you what's the issue. Open ground, open neutral, open hot, etc. It's good. I always check the top one too, even though it's on the same outlet. Now, just want to let you know, there is a bone in the garbage disposal, so that loud noise that you're going to hear is not that something's wrong with the switch or something's wrong with the garbage disposal. It's just there's a bone down there, and that's just another job. So our garbage disposal is working. Here we have a test button. What's the test button for? Well, the test button is to ensure that your GFCI is working correctly. So let's plug this in here. It's basically the same thing that your transmitter has. This little test button. Let's hit it. Turned off the power. That means this GFCI is doing its job. Just hit reset and you're back in business. So it's important to have the proper tools, especially when you're dealing with electric. Here's this one's from Milwaukee. Just so you know, I've had this for many years and it's still doing its job. Then you have your Fluke Meter. If you want to know more about Fluke meters, there are lots of videos on YouTube about Fluke meters. I've had this one for at least 15 years now. And just because this one was still working, just toss it out. Do not install this in someone else's home. Don't do that. I know a lot of electricians, they clean these up, make them cute and shiny again, and stick them in someone's house. Don't do that. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something about my circuit breaker finder and my volt detector. The reason why I showed you these tools here is because I've had them for quite some time and they haven't failed me yet. And today you got a little bit more than I had anticipated in showing you with the new outlet and switch I installed. Just want to give you a look on these part numbers of the tools I was using today, in case you were wondering. Another thing I want to say is, anytime you're working in someone's home, you want to clean up your mess. Clean it up better than you found it when you got there. It's the professional thing to do. And just always remember, when you're dealing with electricity, it can be dangerous. If you're not comfortable in any way, just hire a licensed electrician to come out and give you a hand. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. And I'll continue making more videos like this. I have many more videos that I haven't uploaded yet. So I'll see you soon. Have a good one.